Welp, y'all, we are back. We're in day 9 of the wonderful story. I missed a day. I was just busy, didn't get around to it. I should have made time to do it. So, Sonny D, I'm sorry if you were watching along and missing a day. I'm going to try to do 2 days today to make up for it, to get you back on track. But we are in the story, and we're in the story of Joseph. And we were to the point where his brothers had come back for a second time. He went the first time, they went the first time. They had to leave one there. They had to come back. They were still hungry, came back. He might have snuck something into their bags. I'm telling you what, I think he was being sneaky, old Joseph. But he put that in the bag, and then he sent his servant looking for the thing what he had put in the bag. Joseph, come on, brother. You're being sneaky to your brothers. I like it. It's tricky. It's as long as you're doing it in good nature and not to be mean. All right. So let's get into this. Very well, then, he said. Let it be as you say. Whoever is found to have it will become my slave, and the rest of you will be free of blame. Awesome. Each of them quickly lowered his sack to the ground and opened it. Then the steward proceeded to search, beginning with the oldest and ending with the youngest. The cup was found in Benjamin's sack. At this they tore their clothes. Then they all loaded their donkeys and returned to the city. Joseph was still in the house when Judah and his brother came in, and they threw themselves on the ground before him. Joseph said to them, "What is this you have done? Don't you know that a man like me can find things out by divination?" Big word. "What can we say, my lord?" Judah replied, "What can we say? How can we prove our innocence? God has uncovered your servant's guilt. We are now my lord's slaves. We ourselves, the one who was found to have the cup. We ourselves and the one who was found to have the cup." Yeah, Benjamin. But Joseph said, "Far be it from me to do such a thing. Only the man who was found to have the cup will become my slave. The rest of you go back to your father in peace." Then Judah went up to him and said, Pardon your servant, my lord. Let me speak a word to my lord. Do not be angry with your servant, though you are equal to Pharaoh himself. Your servant, my father, said to us, "You know that my wife bore me 2 sons. One of them went away from me, and I said, 'He has surely been torn to pieces,' and I have not seen him since. If you take this one from me too, and harm comes to him, you will bring my gray head down to the grave in misery. So now, if the boy is not with us when I go back to your servant my father, and if my father, whose life is closely bound up with the boy's life, sees the boy isn't there, he will die. The servants will bring your servant will bring the gray head of our father down to the grave of sorrow. Your servant guaranteed the boy's safety to my father. I said, if I do not bring him back to you, I will bear the blame for you, my father, all my life. Now then, please let your servant remain here as my lord's slave in place of the boy. Let the boy return to his brothers with his brothers. How can I go back to my father if the boy is not with me? No, do not let me see the misery that would come on my father." Dads, they don't like to see stuff happen to their kids, none of them. Then Joseph could no longer control himself before all his attendants, and he cried out, "Have everyone leave my presence." "You want them out? Get out of here! What's going on?" "I'm about to do some stuff." So there was no one with Joseph when he made himself known to his brothers, and he wept so loudly that the Egyptians heard him, and Pharaoh's household heard about it. Joseph said to his brothers, "I am Joseph. I am Joseph. Is my father still living? Yeah, so he's wondering about his father, even though they're still trying to figure out what's going on. But his brothers were not able to answer him because they were terrified at his presence. Then Joseph said to his brothers, "Come close to me." When they had done so, he said, "I am your brother Joseph, the one you sold into Egypt. And now do not be distressed and do not be angry with yourselves for selling me here, because it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you. For 2 years now there has been famine in the land, and for the next 5 years there will be no plowing and reaping. But God sent me ahead of you to preserve for you a remnant on earth and to save your lives by great deliverance. So then, it was not you who sent me here, but God. He made my father to Pharaoh. He made my father to Pharaoh, lord of his. Sometimes I struggle with words, so I'm going over this. It says he made me father to Pharaoh. Oh, made me, not me. Father to Pharaoh, Lord of his entire household and ruler of all Egypt. Now hurry back to my father and say to him, this is what your son Joseph says. God has made me Lord of Egypt. Come down to me, don't delay. You shall live in the region of Goshen and be near me, you, your children and grandchildren, your flocks and your herds, and all you have. I will provide for you there, because 5 years of famine are still to come. Otherwise, you and your household and all who belong to you will become destitute. You can see for yourselves, and so can my brother Benjamin, that it is really I who am speaking to you. Tell my father about all the honor accorded to me in Egypt, and about everything you have seen, and bring my father down here quickly. Yeah, he's wanting to see Pops. Yeah. See, the man loves his Pops, don't we all? And guess what? Pops loves his son. Yeah, especially because there was that one wife, right? Then he threw his arms around his brother Benjamin and wept, and Benjamin embraced him, weeping. And he kissed all his brothers and wept over them. Afterwards, his brothers talked with him. Now, Sonny D, someday you're going to have to love Nyla like that, because, well, that's how that happens, right? So they went up out of Egypt and came to their father Jacob in the land of Canaan. And they told him, Joseph is still alive. In fact, he is ruler of all of Egypt. Come on now. Jacob was stunned. He did not believe them. But when they told him everything Joseph had said to them, and when he saw the carts Joseph had sent to carry him back, the spirit of their father Jacob revived. And Israel said, I'm convinced. Jacob, Israel, quit switching back and forth. Come on, I know you're the Bible and you got it right, but quit switching back and forth. He said, I'm convinced my son Joseph is still alive, and I will go and see him before I die. How amazing. What a blessing. What a blessing. So Israel sent out with all that was his, and when he reached Beersheba, he offered sacrifice to God, to the God of his father Isaac. And God spoke to Israel in a vision at night and said, Jacob, Jacob. Here I am, he replied. I am God, the God of your father, he said. Do not be afraid to go down to Egypt, for I will make you into a great nation there. I will go down to Egypt with you, and I will surely bring you back again. Yep, and Joseph's own hand will close your eyes. When they say close their eyes, they're kind of talking about more than just closing their eyes. It's kind of like the eternal eye close, if you know what I mean. Kind of deep stuff, Sonny D. 3 years old. That may be a struggle, but man, to be with your pops when that happens, that's something, right? Then Jacob, or Jacob, left Beersheba and Israel. They're changing the names again. That's why I just say them whatever I want to say. And Israel sons took their father Jacob and their children and their wives in the cart that Pharaoh had sent to transport him. I'm so glad the New Testament doesn't keep switching back and forth between Paul and Saul. Come on, people. It's not easy. Now, Jacob sent Judah ahead of him to Joseph to get directions to Goshen, someplace. When they arrived at the region of Goshen, Joseph and his chariot made ready and went to Goshen and met their father Israel. As soon as Joseph appeared before him, he threw his arms around his father and wept for a long time. Wouldn't he, though? Come on now. That's your dad. You love him. Israel said to Joseph, "Now I am ready to die, since I have seen for myself that you are still alive." So Joseph settled his father and his brothers in Egypt and gave them property in the best part of the land, the district of Ramses, as Pharaoh directed. Ramses. I wonder if Ramesses? Maybe Ramesses. Can't be Ramses. That's like a Pharaoh dude himself of a different time. Maybe Ramesses. Ramesses. Y'all tell me. Anyway, so he settled them in there as Pharaoh had directed. So Pharaoh knew, Pharaoh was the one that said, "Hey, it's your family. You better watch out for him." And he had to say something. The Egyptians didn't like them herders. So he was like, "How about over here?" Knowing it was a good place, right? So Jacob lived in Egypt 17 years. And the years of his life were 147. That's an old dude. When time drew near for Israel to die, he called for his son Joseph and said to him, "If I have found favor in your eyes, put your hand under my thigh and promise that you will show me kindness and faithfulness. Do not bury me in Egypt, but when I rest with my fathers, carry me out of Egypt and bury me where they are buried." Whew, I don't know why he rested his hand under his thigh. Just a weird deal they did back then, I guess. "I will do as you say." That's what old Joseph said, right? "Swear to me," he said. Then Joseph swore to him, and Israel worshipped as he leaned on the top of his staff. Then Israel said to Joseph, "I am about to die, but God will be with you and take you back to the land of your fathers." Jacob died at the ripe age of 147 years. Before the last day, he gathered his sons to bless them, pronounce their future, and give them an ongoing responsibilities. Not all of the sons got what they wanted. Reuben, for example, was chastised for an earlier sexual sin that no doubt he had hoped his father would not remember. Jacob's last words. That's Jacob. See how we can switch it around, make it confusing? It's all the same guy. Israel, Jacob, all the same guy. Last words foretold that some of his sons and their descendants would experience success, others hard times. Yep, Jacob adopted Joseph's two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, as his own. This allowed Jacob to give Joseph a double inheritance as one whose character had earned his trust and confidence. When Joseph's brothers saw that their father was dead, they said, "What if Joseph holds a grudge against us and pays us back for all the wrong we did to him?" So they sent word to Joseph saying, "Your father left these instructions before he died. This is what you are to say to Joseph. I ask you to forgive your brother's sins, the sins and the wrongs they committed in treating you so badly. Now please forgive the sins of the servants of God, of your father." When their message came to him, Joseph wept. His brothers then came and threw themselves down before him. "We are your slaves," they said. But Joseph said to them, "Don't be afraid. I am not in the place of God. Am I he said, don't be afraid. Am I in the place of God? You intended to harm me, but God intended for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. So then, don't be afraid. I will provide for you and your children. And he reassured them and spoke kindly to them. Joseph stayed in Egypt along with his father's family. He lived 110 years and saw the third generation of Ephraim's children. Also, the children of Machir, son of Manasseh, were placed at birth on Joseph's knee. Joseph said to his brothers, I am about to die, but God will surely come to your aid and take you up out of this land to the land promised on an oath to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Joseph made the Israelites swear an oath and said, God will surely come to your aid. Then you must carry my bones up from this place. So Joseph died at the age of 110, and after they embalmed him, he was placed in a coffin in Egypt. How amazing. So we went a little long again today, but that got us to the end of the third chapter. We're getting ready to go to the fourth chapter on deliverance. But how amazing. We see the story of his dad and his brother that maybe had a little bit of rockiness go on, right? And yet what happens? They come back together, and you see that love between them that just, it didn't matter what happened. They were good with it. They loved each other. And now we see where Joseph and his brothers are in that same boat. And he's like, come on, y'all. Why would you think I'm going to hurt you? He's like, I love you. You're my brothers. And he's like, and it was bad what you did, but look how it worked out. God had a plan, and I see that. And God's plan was greater than our plan. And no matter what you did, good, bad, or indifferent, God's plan was still going to prevail. And so he did that, and he made his plan prevail here before us. And so, yeah, we're blessed. We're all blessed today because of what God planned, not what y'all planned. So you tried, it didn't, and I still love you. I still love you beside all that. So, yep, son of D, if you're watching this right now, remember, Nyla's going to need you to love her that same way one day. And you got to love old little Nyla. So, all right, y'all. I love y'all. And I am so glad that y'all are my subscribers. You're my listeners. You're my viewers, whatever you want to call it. That you come in here. If you got something to comment on the way I said something or another, comment. I ain't never claimed to be the one that knew how to use all these fancy words from the Bible. So you tell me if you hear it and you say that ain't right. But I would say that if you want to give it that like, that share it with somebody, or subscribe, because on YouTube they all say that helps with the algorithm thing. It's awesome. If you don't, that's fine too. And you know what? I'm just blessed y'all listening to this with me. It's not a full Bible, surely, but we are getting some stories from the Bible, and I just pray that y'all are blessed by it. Sonny D, I pray you're getting to hear it. Maybe one day Nyla too. Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Love y'all. You be blessed. Have an amazing day. Bye.